Get ready for playoffs. It's going to be fun.
Air gets hit, plays it to the line. Bridgman, a shot deflected, scores! Mathis Paul with Regina's first playoff goal this postseason. Bridgman off the boards and ahead. Chase Eglin 2-on-1 with Paul. Eglin in, drags, shoots, stop made, rebound, scores! Jace Eglin and Regina's up 2-1. Jace Eglin scores his first Western Hockey League playoff goal. Stangram to the slot. Ruck is robbed by Tabashnik. Short-handed breakaway. Liam Rock stopped by Schlenker's glove. Unbelievable. Liam Rock had 45 goals in the regular season. Robbed. Wagner tees off. Deflected. Scores! First WHL playoff goal for Zach Lansard. After 24 in the regular season, he's got his first in the postseason here in Game 2 in Medicine Hat. Back to the right side, McNutt steps in, goes around the net, works in front, shoots, scores! What a goal by Ephraim McNutt! McNutt circles around the Tigers' net and rips it into the top corner, short side on Jordan Switzer. Aiden Wagner banks it off the boards, down the ice, race for the puck, Karimov wins it, backhander scores! Ruslan Karimov! Karimov beats the icing and lifts the backhander over the shoulder of Jordan Switzer. Ruslan Karimov, the Russian. Back to the blue line, Basha at his knees, falls down, Eglin for the empty net, and he scores! Jace Eglin with his second of the postseason. A empty net goal, and the bench is celebrating as they will take game number 2. And the series is tied up at 1, going back to the Queen City.
Give me 2 and a Ric Flair.
Welcome to Patscast, the unofficial Regina Pats podcast. It's episode 235, March 29th. Playoffs, baby. We are in, and we're talking playoffs with Kevin and Evan. Thanks for joining us, guys.
Hey, I'm here all the time, so it's, it's not uncommon.
I'm happy to be back.
Yeah. Good to have you back. Evan was in the building in Medicine Hat to witness, the improbable win on Saturday night. So we got some firsthand input from him. But general thoughts. Got a game off Medicine Hat. Nobody had Regina taking a game off Medicine Hat. I mean, I'll admit it. Not even me. I didn't think they could do it. But
I was hoping they would keep them close.
Respectable games.
I wasn't hoping for like 11-2 games. I was hoping for like a couple close ones at least. But get that W. Whew. Awesome.
Fair enough. I don't think really anybody gave him a chance. A lot of people said this series was done in 4 games. No second thought about it.
Oh, yeah, for sure.
I'm extremely happy that they did it in Game 2. I thought Game 1, a lot of these guys didn't have playoff experience. I believe only 6 players had playoff experience from the Pats. So this was, learning tool in Game 1. I think they played well for about half that game and then got away from them a little bit. But Game 2, I really, really, really thought they deserved to win that game. And I'm happy it happened in Game 2 because now they're coming back home with that momentum. So, great stuff.
And are you going back to Medicine Hat for Game 5?
This was a conversation on the bus we had, actually. We'll have to see. I think the thought is that I'm wanting to go back for that. I mean, we'll see how Games 3 and 4 go. I'll leave it with that.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
All right, yeah. So let's touch on this Friday night game. You don't know what to expect. The Pats had a couple rough ones against Medicine Hat, like we said, 11-2, 6-0. Little to no experience in the playoffs for this team. But hey, it was a decent, like you said, decent 30 minutes. You've got an early lead in the second. That a little surprising. But the second period kind of got away from him, like you said, and Jonas Wu doing his thing, playing forward, fourth forward out there, and 2 of his goals right in front of the net, right? Like,
Yep.
That's tough. But I don't know this. Uh, you know, the defense. I mean, they've struggled in some situations, and it's just they struggled in that game, right? Like extra
Yeah.
guys down low and stuff like that, and yeah. But I mean, hey, you got to give it to them. They battled. It wasn't a bad game at all, right?
For sure, especially when Cone and Deschamps hadn't played for like 2 weeks or whatever, and they got
Yeah.
thrown into the fire, and McNutt is not playing healthy, I don't think, and
Yeah,
Hamilton's not healthy, and they're missing Fawcett.
yeah, that's
Like
Yeah.
tough.
it's they showed some mettle. They battled. They kept it in there.
Yeah. I think, like I said before, I think the first 30 minutes just great playoff hockey. For a lot of them, that's their first taste of it. I do think I don't want to say Medicine Hat wasn't ready. I think they were. I just I'm not sure they were expecting the Pats to come out as hard as they did. I also believe it's just like you get nervous with the playoffs, especially this is game one of the entire playoffs. They're expected to perform well on home ice. I thought the Pats did a great job of taking the crowd out of it early, even after going down 1-0, but keeping that to be a 1-goal game for much of the first period, getting one back from Mathis Paul, and then another one from Jace Aglin. First 30 minutes, I felt the bounce was really going their way, but in the second period, I also felt that then the tables kind of turned a little bit in terms of bounces. I felt for Jonas Woos, a couple of those goals you mentioned, some pucks up front that banged off a couple of guys. I know his hat trick goal, Tabashnik didn't even see it because it hit
No,
off the
definitely not.
Reese Hamilton in front, and then it just was, quick shot into the back of the net. Didn't even see
Yeah,
it. But
Yeah,
for 30 minutes, they held their own for sure, and that what we were talking about off the air. That I think that kind of propelled them to give them a little bit of belief for game two. So honestly, I was happy with their performance in game one. I know the score maybe doesn't look like that's what it was, but it was close. It was close for a lot of that game.
yeah,
and
for
to
sure.
limit Medicine to only 25 shots
Yeah,
is insane for a team that
yeah.
scores like 5 goals a game, only having 25 shots. Like
Yeah. I don't know what their average is. Do they average a high amount? You assume they do, right?
5 goals a game, I believe.
They average five
But
goals a game, yeah, but shots
shots, I don't
wise,
know. Ooh.
yeah, I don't know. But but yeah, like you said there, like Medicine Hat's maybe got a little pressure on them. People are talking, oh, repeat, they're the number 2 seed, but the Pats have been
Mm.
playing playoff hockey for what, 6 weeks, 8 weeks, right?
Yeah, that's
So
true.
since the trade
um
deadline.
since the trade
Yeah.
deadline, yeah, right. They've been playing just to make it in. So I mean, they've been playing, you know, that type of hockey already. Yeah, and then to see Tabashnik get the start, I'm not that surprised about it. I thought he played pretty well, despite giving up 6 goals. But I think he'd been a little more consistent down the stretch than Schlenker. What about you guys?
Yeah, I wasn't surprised to see him in there. Like,
No.
to be honest, I wouldn't have been surprised if either one was in net
Yeah.
because neither one. Well, Tabby has played in the playoffs and he got unfortunately lit up in Red Deer, but
Yeah. Right.
like he got the poor kid, but
Yeah.
he has the playoff experience, I guess.
Two games, right? So
Something like that, yeah. But I wasn't surprised. I wouldn't have been surprised if Schlenker played the first game either. So
yeah, and you knew a split was happening. I almost could have guaranteed that, right? So
yeah, for sure.
I agree with what you're saying. I think Tabashnik was better down the stretch. I think towards the end of the regular season, he was better. He had a couple big performances at the end of the year. And even after the game on Saturday, spoke with Schlenker for a couple minutes, and he just said that he didn't. He wasn't upset with the decision to start Tabashnik in game one. He said that he felt Tabashnik actually deserved the start in game one. Said that he's had setbacks before, many setbacks before, and that this wasn't the first time, and he was sure it wouldn't be the last time. But he was happy for the opportunity, made the most of it. Thought he was rock solid in game two, and Obviously, wouldn't be surprised to see him go again in game 3. But that being said, I really thought Tabashnik was good too in game
Oh
1.
yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
So,
100%.
you know, hopefully these
Despite-
guys are ones to rise to the occasion.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah.
100%, yeah.
I wonder who they go with in game 3. I think it's could be a split again, right? So,
Yeah.
but one thing that isn't working very well is the power play. Man, is it struggling mightily.
Yeah.
Like what was the season? They're 20 almost 25% on the season.
Yep.
As a whole. But
Mhm.
the last bit of the regular season, the last 14 games, they're 5 of 43, so that's 11%. And then you tack on 10, an 0 for 10 in these first 2 games, you're 5 for 53 in the last 16 games. That's under 10%. That's not good. And listening to Brad after the second game, he says it wasn't a concern, but I mean, I don't know. At this point, he says it's going to figure itself out, but I mean, I think it is a concern because I don't think you can go deep in this series. I mean, we're talking about not winning a game, hoping to keep these games close, and now we're talking about this series. Can the Pats do something in this series, right? But I mean, they gotta get that power play going. Like that's crucial.
That might get going if a certain number 19 and number 13 play these next
Okay,
couple
well
games.
that's another whole other subject. So before we get
Exactly,
there,
but I'm just saying.
before we get there,
Yeah.
let's talk
Yeah,
about
listen, I think that's true, but even
10
going back to
missing
what you're
10.
saying, I just think you're missing 10 as well, but
Yeah.
going back to
exactly.
what you're saying in general about the power play, I mean, I just feel they're not generating enough shots. I think the possession is there. I think the drive is there. I just think that, I don't know, they're being held to the outside, of course, for Medicine Hat, but I think that they need to shake it up in terms of getting better looks and high scoring opportunities. And again, that changes with personnel, but for the
Yeah.
guys that are out there, you could change who you put out there, of course, but I just think they got to find a way to get shots through.
Yeah,
Better high
and
opportunities and more of them.
Yeah, and like in the first game, I didn't think that was very good. They had that 4-minute, double minor, and it just didn't look good at all. Like,
Yeah.
So, but yeah, yeah, I don't know. Yeah, I don't know. Before we get to 13 and 19, what else? What else we got from this game?
Like I said, holding Medicine to 25 shots in the first game. I only had 18.
Yeah, they only generated
shots
18,
of 25-18. That's pretty wild for a Medicine Hat Pats game. Like usually there's more shots.
Yeah, definitely.
I even think off the opening faceoff in that first game, they were going at it at the start. Like they're trying to set the tone. I wasn't really sure what to expect in terms of that, guys, because like we said, there weren't a lot of guys here that have played in the playoffs, but I think it's good that they're like, again, I just think it's something that they're showing that they're not necessarily just gonna sit back and let them come at them. So, really like that, like the intensity. I thought they weren't shying away from scrums after the whistle. Not a lot of like stupid penalties either.
Yeah.
I think they've done a fairly good job of doing that as well. So,
yeah, actually, for the flip side, so the power play struggled, but the penalty kill has been good, right? Like, they've given up. What was it? Like they didn't give up one.
They gave
on
one in the
Saturday.
first game.
So just one. Yeah, just one. So
I mean, Pickford scored.
Okay, actually, speaking of that Pickford goal, that's a beauty goal. And what a pass by Basha, right? Cross ice, and he just one times at home. Like, what a goal! But
those guys can zip the puck, man.
Yeah, I was just looking at the last 2 games in the regular season. Medicine Hat had 43 shots in both games, like each. So yeah, so to hold them, 25 and under in these 2 games, that's saying something. And like you said, the playoff intensity is there. You're right. It's ratcheted up. You can tell it's a totally different game than the regular season.
And the first 2 games of the season against Medicine Hat, the Pats were shot 42-25 and 41-23.
Okay, there you go.
Okay.
Yeah, I didn't look at those games because
over 40.
I didn't go back to those games because that was so long ago, right?
Yeah, but still,
yeah. 40 shots plus in each game until the playoffs here. So
Yeah, the last time we played them was 43-16.
yeah, exactly. But yeah, the playoff intensity is there. And I mean, Medicine Hat does have a couple guys that, may get under guys' skin, but it hasn't led to dumb penalties, which is nice to see, right?
Yeah.
So far, so good anyway.
Yeah. All right. Well,
Knock on wood.
Yeah. Let's move on to this Saturday night game. So obviously you switch up the goaltender. The lineup's pretty much the same. But yeah, I mean, again, from the get-go, you're just not too sure what to expect. You get an early power play, and again, it just the first two power plays again just weren't pretty. So you're thinking, what's this team gonna do, especially when you're getting these chances early and you're not capitalizing, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. So you get the late one going into the first intermission. I mean that's a huge goal, right? Like,
Yeah.
but Mesnat responds right away. That's another thing I was going to bring up. It seems like as soon as the Pats score, Mesnat scores.
Yeah. Yeah.
Like, I don't know
Instant
what
response.
Yeah, like,
Yeah.
and the only time they didn't is the Karimov goal, right? Like the game winner, or no, that one. Oh, sorry, the
The
McNutt.
McNutt goal.
Yeah, the second one,
Yeah.
right?
McNutt
Like
one.
they finally got away from giving up a goal. So I don't know what they're doing after scoring. They're just not just, I don't know, just not buckling down after the giving or scoring a goal. But yeah, that it's interesting there.
It is. They didn't have a long time. You're right. Like they didn't lead for a long time. I believe they would score a couple times, like the shift after is what
Yeah.
I really think. But something that I noticed is, aside from that Eglin goal, I did go in on that left side, even though it hit off of someone and went in. But the Mathis Paul goal and the Zach Lansard goal, both deflections on that left side. I believe they were talking to the pre-scouts, something along the lines of that has worked, screening and tips in front,
Mm-hmm.
and going 5 hole as well. I mean, Eglin's that guy just gets breakaways like no tomorrow, man.
I know, right?
He's just
I mean,
like, it's crazy.
Yeah, no, and
Gotta
he
get
just,
gotta get the finish down.
yeah,
Yeah,
and he doesn't seem
Yeah.
like the fastest guy out there, right? But he, just like you said, and it's
But he gets that step. He's
I know.
gone.
Yeah.
and it's
The
like he gets,
his separation's really good.
Oh yeah.
And
Yeah.
he's how many shorthand breakaways, right? Like he's had quite a few. And like you said, his first goal in the first game, it was a little bit of a lucky bounce, right? It went off the defender, I think, and in.
Yeah.
But they'll take it. Hey, a goal's a goal, right?
Yeah.
And then like you said, the Paul goal, a nice tip on the Bridgman shot, and then the Lansard goal. I don't know if that was a shot. It's kind of tough to tell from the camera angles if that was a pass from Wagner or that was a shot. I'm not 100% sure. But Wagner 2 assists. I mean, he ices it on the Karimov goal, right? But Karimov, what an effort to not only beat the icing out, but to chip it in. Like I don't know if the goalie was ready for that, right? Like
No, I think he was expecting it to be an icing call. I don't think he was expecting Karimov
Yeah.
to get down there.
yeah, he was like he had his arm up. He's saying, "Oh, it's icing, and then it was so close to the net. He's looking down at the puck, making sure it doesn't hit him, or
Yeah.
And then all of a sudden, Krimov's there, and boom, in the back of the net. Like, whoa.
Yeah.
I
I don't
you
know. And also, like these celebrations, I mean, we talked about the playoff intensity. I think there's something about saying playing on the road, like they're the underdog playing on the road. But talking to these guys after, I mean, they were saying that the fans were going at them all night. So, you saw the McNutt stare down. And,
Yeah, the McNutt stare down. I was just gonna
Yeah.
say that. That was
Even
pretty
Hamilton.
intense.
Hamilton
Yeah,
was.
even-
I think.
Yeah, Hamilton was banging on the glass, and even Karimov when he scored. I don't think it was in the video that I got, but if you watch the Victory Plus highlight, he looks back at the fans, and even in the one
Okay.
at the video where they're celebrating at the end of the game, and they're kind of making like waving, not really waving, but they're like making a gesture over to them and
Yeah.
letting them hear it back because those guys were just howling at them all game. So
Yeah.
it's the playoffs, but I just love again, like I just love that compete. I love it.
Yeah, yeah. You got a good video of that Karimov celebration, goal and celebration.
Yeah,
That was a good right place, right time, right? So,
yeah.
but I think last year there was some incidents last year in Medicine Hat with who they play in the first round. I can't remember, but I think there was some shenanigans going on there last year.
Oh
But
yeah.
yeah, stuff getting thrown on the ice.
Swift current.
Swift current, yeah, that's what it was. The Medicine Hat was throwing stuff on the bench, and the Medicine Hat fans were and stuff, and on the ice. But yeah, it was interesting. So, and I mean, Medicine Hat had the old rink 4006 every night, and then they moved out to the new rink, right, and they lost atmosphere. Obviously it's come back here in the last couple of years with with the playoffs
Yeah,
and having a good
for
team, but
sure.
when they moved, they lost a lot. um but that's what happens when you go to a new rink, like the big rinks. You lose atmosphere in these new high ceiling rinks and stuff, and it's just not the old barns. But
Like the crush
Yeah.
can of Mustra.
like the Crush Can, I never did make it
Oh
to the
yeah.
old Med Hat Arena, but you always hear the stories. But yeah, but yeah,
I don't know. I love the playoffs. Um, I'm not sure who was going to speak there. You can go ahead. I'll tell the story after this, but go ahead.
no, you go ahead.
Okay. Well, we're talking about the fans. The fans are obviously what make the sport, right? But Bryce Buns was there. He was at
Okay.
the game, and he was sitting one row behind the Pats bench, and he was wearing his Pats hat, and he was sitting by himself because I guess he has a buddy that works there, and he was working for the game, and apparently they were just going at Bryce the whole game.
Oh, really?
Uh, yeah, and but like that's not even just the only thing. I mean, I don't know if Dante told you this, and maybe you haven't spoke to him about it, but there was for the Pats side, there was a couple kids in our hotel that had Pats jerseys on. That were kids that were obviously fans.
Nice.
Another notable one that is actually even crazier is there's this fan drives his white van. He's got mini stick nets on top of his van, and after game one he was waiting outside the bus and he's clapping and cheering and saying like, "You guys got this. You had him in the first half." Blah blah blah. And he's wearing a patch jersey. He's wearing
Okay.
like the third white alternate jersey, and he's cheering us on like that. And we were obviously not expecting that. And then the next morning we go for practice, and there he is again. He's there again,
Nice.
honking the horn. Yep. So
That's awesome.
that was great. Yep, that was awesome. And then on the other side too, like we went to the Starbucks. There's a Starbucks right across the street from where we were staying, and um, a couple guys that came in and they had the Medicine Hat Tiger flags on. They had jerseys, and we're all sitting there with our Pats gear on. But Dante got the Starbucks. The people working at Starbucks to write "Go Pats Go" on the cups, uh, which is pretty funny. But yeah, that's just like a few things. It's just like the playoffs. It just means so much more, and it was really cool to see like fans out in public that are supporting whatever team.
No, yeah, that's awesome. And I've got some friends in Medicine Hat, and I really should have thought about it. I was like, man, I could have made it out, like, but I've got new venture on the go, and I'm so busy. I didn't really think about it, but yeah, I was like, I could have totally went to these games, but yeah, but well, life's pretty busy. It's hard for me to even catch. I had to watch second game on delay. Like, I was I was watching
Okay.
it, like I don't know, I'm about an hour behind. But like the second period, I don't know, like the last 5 minutes of the second period, I couldn't almost couldn't stay awake for it. Like it was so bad. Like there was so many whistles at the last couple minutes, and then good thing I fast forward through the intermission, because if I would have had to sit through the intermission, I don't think I could have made it. But then you go to the third period, and like the third period was way better. Like
Oh yeah.
the gameplay, it was just back and forth. It was much more exciting, and obviously the way the game was going, like it's not like it was a snooze fest. But man, I really struggled in that second period to watch that game. But
The first two periods took an hour and 52 minutes.
Jeez.
From what from when it
Yeah,
started.
yeah.
Well, 7 o'clock to
Almost 9.
it was almost 9 o'clock when the second period ended.
Wow.
Jeez.
10 face-offs in the last 4 minutes,
Yeah, like
and
it
there's
was
like
like
30, 40 seconds between every face-off.
yeah,
Just
it felt like there was like the 4 minute mark to about the 2 minute mark. It seemed like there's a face off every 10 seconds. And like you said, it took like a minute in between face offs. I was just like, what is going on here? Like,
Hmm.
but yeah, no. And so hopefully coming back to the city here with a split, hopefully that can engage the fans and have an atmosphere
Yeah.
here. Hopefully. I really,
Hopefully.
yeah, I'm really looking forward to watching some playoff hockey again. It's been a couple years, and before that, it was a long time for us. But yeah, hopefully with the split and people just at least just looking at the scores and seeing, hey, they're not getting blown out, and maybe maybe the Pats can pull off a miracle here
Yeah.
and win both, right? Like you get home ice advantage, you get that stuff. Maybe a couple guys can heal up, maybe get a couple guys in the lineup. As for 13 and 19, I don't see how they're playing, honestly. Like, as much as the Pats would want them there, like, I don't know, you got to play in
Hmm.
regionals. Like, that's my opinion. But
Yeah.
we'll find
what
out
do you?
Tuesday, I guess.
Yeah, right. Um,
Yeah.
but I that being said, I think Schultz should be with the Pats full time. I mean, it's pretty obvious that he should be at that level, right? At this level. He's
Yeah.
more than capable. He's a point of game player now that he's been with the team pretty much full time, right? And just kind of parachuting in for some C's games. But for them to win the championship, and huge shout out um to the team, battling Moose Jaw again and beating them. Maybe not as easy as it was last year, but and quietly another Pats prospect, Malin Wiley, game one overtime hero. So not just Schultz and Pugh chipping in for them. It was another guy as well. So, but yeah, what do you guys think? I mean, they could play Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday, right? Like,
Yep.
I don't know
They
what
are young.
they are
You,
young,
you
but
never know.
Yeah. It
Well,
is true, but
seeing what the Big Pats did, maybe they'll want to play. Maybe they'll want to taste the playoff experience. Maybe if it's just
yeah,
Tuesday, maybe they won't play Wednesday. Maybe they'll just play Tuesday. Like you never know.
I'm on your side with that, Kevin. I think that especially because they played with the team this year and help them get there. I really think that they want to play. I don't know if it's necessarily up to them, but
Yeah,
if I
exactly.
were to guess if they play at all, I think they play game 3 and not game 4.
Yeah,
Um, if that is the case, or they don't play at all, because yeah, you're right. Like they were to play with us, it'd be 31st, the first, and then from second to the fifth. I mean, they'd be playing like 6 days in a row of like some of the highest level hockey,
yeah,
highest intensity at least for sure. So,
for sure.
I wouldn't expect to see them both games. I'm hoping for at least one. I think they've earned the right to play at least one, but
Yeah,
again,
exactly. That was
we'll
my
have to wait
thinking
and
for
see.
sure.
Yeah,
yeah, for
yeah,
sure. And if you ask them, they wouldn't say no, right? Like at all.
yeah,
They want to play for sure. It's just, I, you know, how to-
yeah,
just I couldn't imagine what goes on, behind the scenes to get these guys to where they're like back and forth. Like, oh man, like what
yep.
a situation is. And obviously it's the first year, and it's two guys. Like it's just wild, right? So, um, but yeah, it's interesting. But yeah. What else you got from these games? And before we kind of move on to other things,
I'm just super happy they split. I'm
yeah,
shocked that
Yeah.
they split.
Yeah.
I'm super happy they split. It was very unexpected. And hey, they're going to be playing 5 games in the playoffs for sure. Hopefully more.
Which is awesome. Hopefully more, yeah. I'd say just some little tidbits and stuff from, you know, being there, talking to some of the guys. Um, they didn't skate on Saturday, but the feeling amongst some of those guys, just talking to them, is that like I said to you guys earlier, I think they felt a little bit of confidence and belief after that first game. I felt they got a little unlucky at times, and then they obviously go out and do that. And all I can say is, after the game, being down by the dressing room, it was exciting. And in the words of Dayton Deschamps, he said, "How do you like them apples?" So
Nice.
they're certainly fired up, and there's definitely belief. It was a good bus ride home, and I think I'd still expect their best. I think that they believe they can do it. So hopefully they get some more help, and it'd be great to see Maddox and Liam be able to play because we all know what they're capable of, and those two certainly rise to the occasion.
Oh yeah, for sure.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah. I mean, Schultz scored huge goals in his midget and WHL career already. Hughes scored a few goals here lately. Like he had overtime winner. He had a couple goals in the next game. Yeah, they're both probably feeling it. You just look at game 5. Schultz scores 26 seconds into the game after they get whooped 5-1 in Moose Jaw, right? So, that's a tone setter right there, right?
Yeah,
so,
for sure.
Yeah, we'll throw it to Brad here. His comments after the game, like I touched on, he kind of thought he thinks the power play is going to figure it out. He kind of gives us his thoughts or what happened with the Schlenker situation. It's kind of funny what he says. But other than that, yeah, I know. Yeah, hopefully, like he says, hopefully the crowd can show up like they did in Medicine Hat and really help these guys go here in 3 and 4.
Well, Brad, you got your split on the road. How does that feel?
Yeah, it's what we come here to do. I think that we had a little bit more finish than we had last night on some of our momentum opportunities, and we just stuck with it. We went down another man, lost Bearsy in the first period, I guess. So we had pretty much 10 forwards, 3 lines. So a lot of credit to those kids in the dressing room, which was a huge character win.
How do you kind of, especially in that third period, hold off kind of like an onslaught coming from that Tigers offense and Merrick as well, and that kind of backstopping you guys to kind of hold off at the end?
Yeah, I think Merrick was huge. Obviously, we didn't start him game 1, and he didn't blink an eye. I told him to go shove it up my ass today, and that's exactly what he did. So that's what we expected of our team MVP, and he did a hell of a job. But in the third period, they're a good team, guys. Like, they're a top 5 team in the country. They probably scored more goals than anyone in the country. They're good players, and you can only hold them off for so long. I think we did a really good job in making them defend, making it difficult on them, and we drug them into deep waters in the third period. And I think we deserved the win tonight.
How much does a win like this, do for your team's confidence just going back to Regina?
Well, I think it's even more than confidence. I think it's like where our organization's at right now and what we're trying to get to. I know a lot of people don't believe it, but these games are important learning lessons and the way you have to play. And you can be the inferior person and still win the playoffs, but it takes character, it takes a lot of buy-in, a lot of selflessness. And hockey players don't always have that in the regular season, and for our guys to experience that and experience, after the first period, we had a lot of power plays and we were getting discouraged and just went in the dressing room. This is not a hockey thing, this is a character thing. We're being tested right now. Let's pass the character test, and I really put it to the boys in the first period, and they came out flying, passing character tests, being real good teammates, supporting each other. So even when we were having an onslaught, no one was getting down. We all stayed positive and we kept believing that we were able to do it.
Power play, though, is still struggling. How do you turn it around?
Yeah, it'll turn itself around. There's nothing to even get worried about right now. We were clipping at 25-27%. It was one of our best teams all season long. We're getting down short guys. Guys are hurt playing. We're doing the best of our abilities. So to us, we don't need to really worry about that right now. It'll work itself out, I believe.
With 2 days off before Game 3, Brad, how do you guys carry momentum now here and, getting home ice next game?
Well, I think it's going to be good to get home for us. As far as momentum, I'm not too sure it really carries over. I think that, Willie's a great coach. They've been through a lot of these experiences. They understand that, it's the next game mentality. So that's what I expect out of them. And for us, we're learning about that right now. For us, we can't go on our high horse and think that it's going to be easier, because it's not going to be easier. They're going to be hungrier now. They understand how we're playing them, and they're going to push back. And and I expect that Tuesday. And for us, we're going to take the next 2 days. I think rest up, heal up. We need some need to get some guys back in our lineup, and but for us, we just need to keep the same team character mentality we played with the last 2 games.
Playing on the road here in front of a loud crowd, how is that going to help? When you guys return to home ice, guys get their first look at a home playoff game.
Yeah, man, this rink is so much fun. The fans do a really good job here, bringing the energy. Even just listening to them, singing the national anthem. I think it's really cool in junior hockey. And unfortunately, I was never able to be in the old rink, and I've always heard stories about how cool it was, an intimidating place to play. So, to me, playing in front of these kind of crowds is what hockey's all about, and it gives you new juices, and it tests you mentally in other capacities. So for us, I just hope that we get the same crowd that they have here, and as I know when the Brandt is full, it gives our guys extra juice, and it's one of the best barns to play in when the rink is full.
Do you hope to have Maddox and Liam in the lineup game 3, or what's the plan there?
Well, we won, so it'll be probably hard to get them in the lineup.
All right. Yeah, moving on. Kind of touch on the playoffs as a whole. I mean, it's been pretty unexpected the way it's gone. I mean, I think Regina is kind of the biggest news story, right?
Yes.
Getting the split. You look at the East, Edmonton, Saskatoon splitting, PA handling Red Deer pretty handily, and then
Like Connor Howe handling Dillard.
Yeah,
that scrap.
That was crazy.
Yeah, hey, PA tough, man. PA tough, right? Like
Man, that
the
was
House. Yeah, they're a tough bunch.
tough characters for sure.
Yeah. But Calgary, Brandon, that's kind of a little bit of a story. Triple overtime, game 1. What a start! Like
A 1-0 triple overtime game.
Yeah, and no goals during regulation, right? And then Ethan Moore scores triple overtime. It's a good thing that they had Saturday off. They come back on Sunday. They go to overtime again, but it's a 6-5 final for Calgary this time. Ethan Moore
Again.
But
Julian Mays,
our buddy Julian Mays, 6.6 on every goal. Wow.
It's pretty crazy, right? Like that was the longest 1-0 game in history, right?
Yeah.
Is it? Okay, I didn't see that.
Internet era for sure.
Yeah.
Yeah, I believe that's what they said. It was like, what was it? I forget how long, 105 or something like that. It was like something like that, 105 minutes or something.
Yeah. Wow.
Which is just, I mean, okay, it's crazy that it's that long to begin with. Like playing triple overtime is crazy enough.
Yeah.
When you factor in that there's been no goals scored in the game, in a junior game, like it's crazy that is what happened. So
yeah, for sure.
we watched the highlights, Dante and I, when we got back. It was crazy, but it was still going on when we got back to the hotel, and then
Brzezinski made like 64 saves or 65 saves or whatever before letting the winning goal in.
Outstanding.
Yeah, 65 shots for Calgary, 50 for Brandon. Like to give up 1 goal on that many shots, like wow. Right? So yeah, just kind of looking at the West. I mean, it's pretty I don't know, nothing too exciting there, right? Like Penticton,
the top 4 are up 2-0.
Yeah, Penticton did need overtime to beat Seattle in game 1, but they handled them pretty handily in game 2 by the looks of it at a 4-1 final, right? So, yeah, see what happens when it goes to the road barns or the lower seeds get the home ice. Yeah, Portland. I don't know. I thought maybe Portland could pull something out. Everett's struggled in the playoffs, lately, but they Everett's handled them pretty handily, 8-1, 4-1. So, yeah. Any other thoughts there, guys?
Overall, no. Just I'm super excited, super happy that the Pats have split. Hopefully, they can keep the momentum going into game 3, 4, and yeah. The rest of the playoffs, I'm not surprised with, really.
Yeah, nothing
yet.
Nothing jumps off the page yet. Yeah, like I said. So.
Yeah, nothing really yet aside from us. But the only thing I'll say is home ice advantage. So.
Yeah, that's
what it is now.
It's the best of 5. We have 3 at home. So.
Yep. Anything can happen.
Let's go.
Yep, let's go. So, yeah, I don't have much else other than finally the WHL. I guess the CHL as a whole finally fixed the schedule page. Like, my God, that took way too long to fix, but it's finally here.
The whole season.
Yeah, exactly right. When you're using it like on a daily basis, like it's so frustrating. But yeah,
Yeah.
that's nice to see. But you guys got anything else? Anything?
No, just looking forward to a couple home playoff games and hopefully a few more overall, other
Yeah.
than these 5.
Yeah.
I like that. I like that.
Hoping
Yeah.
for some close games, competitive games, and would love for the momentum to carry over. I think it will. And like I said, hopefully some reinforcements are on the way because that would be a big boost to this lineup who did their job on the road and would love, for that to continue and also for them to be rewarded with that and 19 and 13 potentially. So
And
we'll see.
hopefully Bear's healthy enough to play because he got
Yeah.
injured there. So
Yeah. Wow.
Yeah.
heard he had some dental work to get done or something. So
Yep. He that's a tough cookie, man. He is a tough cookie. I don't
That-
think I mean, I was talking to him in the third period of the game. I'm like, if that was me, I don't think I would say anything until, I don't think I'd be opening my mouth even. So props to him. That guy's a tough cookie. And yeah, hopefully he's good to go, but we'll see.
Yeah, that kind of maybe missed on that, but yeah, that was a rough hit, and we've seen so many of these hits from behind. 4 minutes, but I just sent Kevin one from the OHL tonight. A real bad from behind. He got 5. I don't think he got a game. I don't know. It was at
Which
least
game was that?
Hold on here. Let me see. It was Brantford. It was black and yellow.
Well, Brantford, they're playing the 60s. Or no, they're not playing 67. They're playing the Sudbury Wolves. Is that who it was?
I don't recognize the colors. One's black and yellow, and the other one's like white and green, maybe.
Yeah, it's Sudbury. Yeah, it's
Sudbury.
Brantford and Sudbury.
Sudbury and Brantford. Okay.
Yeah, it's Ben
was,
Danford. For
Danford.
Oh,
Brampton.
Danford, Leafs
Yeah.
prospect.
Oh, yeah, it was a rough hit. He
laid the hit, or was he the
yeah,
one
he
who
did.
got
He
hit?
laid the hit. Yeah.
Right
Oh, wow.
in the
Okay.
back.
Wow.
So yeah, it was ugly, but yeah,
All right.
but yeah, hopefully Bear can get healthy.
I sent
enough
it to you, Evan.
I'll take a look. Yeah.
um,
Wow.
Yeah, that's a rank hit.
and
But-
yeah, like even we're talking that overtime, the Calgary game, and it was another kind of hit from behind. It wasn't as bad, but the Calgary D-man kind of stopped to do that like reverse hit, and he kind of ate it. And I mean, and the Brandon guy just hit him right, like because he stopped and he drew the penalty. And unfortunately, that I don't know. I don't want to say that wasn't a penalty, but that's a tough one, right? When the D-man engages contact and then eats it because he tried to hit you.
I just found the
Yeah.
summary. He got game misconduct.
Yeah, you got 5 in a game. Yeah.
5 in a game.
Wow.
But yeah. But they only called 2 minutes, the Calgary, the Brandon game. So, but ended up being on for the winner. But yeah, I don't know. Anyways. All right, boys, we should get out of here. We I don't know, we chat after game 4, I guess. Maybe we'll see what happens. Maybe we'll bang one out downstairs Wednesday night, but we'll see what happens. But yeah, we'll be back soon-ish. But yeah,
Mhm.
well, thanks for tuning in. Thanks for coming on, Evan. Being on the road with the team, that extra little input's always nice to have.
Yeah.
The first-hand information
Yeah.
is always nice.
For sure. I
Definitely.
appreciate you guys having me on. Always
Yeah,
fun.
of course, definitely. So with that, we'll see you guys at the rink, and hopefully a win or two here in Regina. Have a good night.
Take it easy.